goddamn fucking system. What are you talking about? Captain Eddie Ross, the most famous airline pilot I was doing the MLW taping in Chicago. It wasn't Chicago. It was the one in Milwaukee, that shitty building they had in Milwaukee where fucking that fat fuck, what Callahan got fired and blamed me and all this other shit. He came up, he had been flown into town that day and happened to see dinner and came up with a bag of Wendy's triple cheeseburgers for me.
What the hell happened?
Talking to little boys.
Looks like everyone in this fucking town's out to end you. Makes me feel... Probably couldn't stand you anymore either.
I said, shut up.
And there was some issue with the power of the generator or something. And he gave me a bag of burgers, and I said, here, go in for free. So fuck you, Port Power. I sold your company for a bag of cheeseburgers. But he was saying, but he's retiring. And did I mention that? Captain Eddie. Retiring now, will not be flying around the goddamn world doing who knows what international espionage.
What the fuck, man?
He's a commercial pilot. He's not something. He's a commercial pilot, but I have a feeling he's some kind of goddamn undercover espionage agent, because he just pops up everywhere.
Some fucking world.
His wife Rosalie needs to keep him under control now that he's going to be home. He's the development of the United States.
So I think he wants a supervisor that will run the sources. Where do you get the budget to give you the cheeseburgers?
They expensed it with a Delta. I think it's Delta. I'm not sure. He may have moved around a lot. You know, he's had a few assumed names. Remember that book where the guy that called people into thinking that he was a fucking pilot and he really wasn't? He flew airplanes. That wasn't Captain Eddie.
That was Catch Me If You Can. With an art with the captain.
Frank Abagnale was that guy's name.
That's right.
How about that? For fucking off the top of my head trivia about nonsense.
One of these conversations needs to be much other than maybe. And it is
Happy retirement, Captain Eddie. And I guess before we go any further, the version of AEW wrestling, Dave Meltzer and his Wrestling Observer newsletter now entering its 75th year. The original Observer was chiseled into a rock with a fucking stone tool. Did you know that? But now it's he has pushed and promoted this concept, this wrestling that he thinks is the future and has been the future and continues to be. It's always coming.
What the fuck is that?
It's going to take over the whole world. And now, you're not as old as I am.
Fuck is he wearing?
He started this thing
Weirdo.
3 years ago. Hard fans who actually knew what this kind of was and how it was kind of done went from numbers of hundreds in the early 80s to everybody today that cares to find out. But all of the smart fans used to kind of agree on the major points. Like, everybody thought all the other shits, right? No goddamn major.
Fuck you, nigga.
You know, 2 camps and then
Fuck you, little bitch.
Actually, we'll go WCW because that was the more traditional kind of wrestling, and they thought that, if anything, the WWF was too finger cartoon. And that was but now, that is the only people that the same kind of thing they likes. And Watch out! Leadership reflects that because everybody else is going, oh, Jesus Christ, oh, this horseshit that was in the fucking, and always the so this is a self-fulfilling prophecy that Davis brought off all the people that liked wrestling.
All units be advised. Suspect remains in the vicinity. Suspect's vehicle has been located. Details have been sent.
Hope for them as the best of what they do. Becomes ridiculous, and you have to this all together again. Over there.
Another motherfucker trying to kill me!
Who's gonna sit there forever? Page, Brad. And Page in all of their wrestling is the best on interviews. Over Paul Heyman, over John Cena, over Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, over CM Punk, over MJF. In what universe do these people live, and how does their cognitive ability function in their brain? That this fucking, I still love the quote, empty-headed dipshit is a better speaker on interviews in any way, shape, or form in professional wrestling context than any of those names I just mentioned. Help me.
Thank you. You set me up by just saying all the things you hate about it and then asking me to do what? Defend it? I can't. Yeah, Adam Page is empty-headed. I just saw that picture of him and Marty Skrull the other day. Obviously, that was a bad decision. And it's important to know that the Observer, the newsletter, the website, we were talking thousands and thousands of subscribers. Thousands and thousands of people. Most into the Observer audience who read the Observer. So I think there's a lot of people who read the Observer about it to stay close on and typically have it for years or so. Just not like that. But I think there are a lot of other fans out there too. When they read it, they engage. So you're not looking at an example of the overall audience. I think you're looking at the people that are the most intense about it.
The ones with the bigger buckets of Dave's water, is what you're saying.
And that water can see from the AEW reservoir, I guess is.
I think I'd call it a well.
Okay, well, there you go. No, Tony has a lot of money. It's a reservoir.
Well, no, but actually, it's a bottomless well. But think about this. No, nevertheless. So do you want to go over these major awards, and everybody on the list gets a leg lamp, from what I understand?
I think let's just finish talking about the interviews real quick, since you brought that one up. AEW fans love Adam Page's promos. And it's one of those things where there's a disconnect between those fans and fans like me, let's say, who, when I see Adam Page, it seems like a guy trying to feign intensity and trying to perform what a character is supposed to say here. And it doesn't come across to me as believable.
In a dramatic fashion.
To me, it's not believable. It's not relatable. It's bad acting. It's bad wrestling acting, which is the worst kind of acting there is.
Would you see it in a low-budget independent film?
Maybe. There's a lot of out-of-work actors. There's a lot of people that work. But that's the thing, to those fans, the same fans that have thought Moxley was great on promos. They see Adam Page, and they see Adam Page as the perfect example of a modern promo, and other fans who have seen lots of good promos for a long time, including right now, we look at him and we're like, this guy's preposterous. It's complete act. It doesn't come across as being genuine at all.
It's funny you mentioned Moxley, because he came in number 2. You could just fucking put English words on the sides of fucking dice and just roll them and put his fucking promos together.
That's right. If I had a hammer, whose house?
And those are the number one and number two choices over, again, all the other names that I mentioned. And even in their own company, what is MJF known for? Well, besides now being the poster boy for bad booking for the past 2 years or so, but oh God. But yeah, I quit looking at that point. That was the third one listed or whatever, and I said I'm just going to let you break the news to me from here on out. So it's your
That's great.
It's your podium.
I can see why you would feel that way. You won Best on Interviews before, so obviously you take it personal.
Well, that is kind of a goddamn. Just to hold on here, he does list the previous winners, doesn't he? Let's see, 1985, Jim Cornette, 1986, Jim Cornette, 1987, Jim Cornette, 1988, Jim Cornette, 1989, Terry Funk, I get Bow to the Master. 1990, Arn Anderson, 1991, Ric Flair, 92, Ric Flair, 93, Jim Cornette, 94, Ric Flair, 95, Cactus Jack, 96, 7, 8, Steve Austin, 9, 0, 1, or 9 and 0, Rock, 01, Austin. I mean, this was
some murderer's row.
And then following by Kurt Angle, and I'm just looking at Chris Jericho and fucking Punk and Heyman. And suddenly it's fucking Adam Page. Okay.
Well, Jim, here are some of the other awards. I don't know if we're going to go through everything, but let's go through some of the big ones. Of course, the Lou Thesz Ric Flair Award for Wrestler of the Year. It is the Lou Thesz Ric Flair Award, skipping multitudes of other NWA champions. We're focusing on those two. The Wrestler of the Year.
He likes to name a lot of the awards for people that he really liked.
With 548 votes for first place, giving him 3,286 points in total.
And that's another guy. We're not even going to
discuss
how. It's determined by points on a 5-3-2 basis, kids. It's in Dave's mind somehow that this is the best way to do this. We're just going to. The results is what we're looking for.
But again, to what I said earlier, thousands of readers, not thousands of voters. 548 first place votes, 3,286 total points. Mystico, Wrestler of the Year. We'll talk about him in a second, and there is an argument for Mystico. Number 2, Adam Page, 147 first place votes. Number 3, Jon Moxley, 138 first place votes, followed by Saya Kamitani with 88 first place votes. And at number 5, they cracked the list, WWE with John Cena, 79 first place votes. You may not be able to hear that name because you can't see him. Then Cody Rhodes with 56, Takeshita with 24. I'm yelling. I apologize, Jace. CM Punk, Bandito, and Will Ospreay.
See, you're in the fucking. What's it, the pavilion out there on the Grammy? You're having to speak out to the throng. Number 8 was who?
Number 8 was CM Punk, followed by Bandito and Will Ospreay. That rounds out the top 10.
Okay. And here's the thing is, and Dave has been on a tear about this, writing about it, and it is true, and there's no reason to not write about it. It's just that this is a thing that he's kind of made happen. That CMLL has been on that attendance tear, and they drew over 1 million, or sold over 1 million tickets in a calendar year that has never happened before in the one building. And the whole 9 yards, and Mystico, for all that he looks like piss on a plate here, is over there and over with their audience, and you can make a case that he technically was the wrestler of the year in the entire world of wrestling, because his company did a record year of success when even the WWE's bigger than everything, but they didn't do a record fucking year of ticket sales. They just soaked everybody for more money. So point is, Mystico, okay, I can see that. And then Adam Page number 2, I'm like, what? Okay, not John Cena on the retirement tour where they outgross their grossest grosses, or not Cody Rhodes, who is the champion for the biggest company, or not CM Punk, who's one guy in the WWE who makes a difference in whether he's involved with the belt or not. And it's Adam Page and then Jon Moxley. And then Saya Kamatani. Even if you wanted to swallow the Page and Moxley pills before Cena and Rhodes and Punk, Saya Kamatani.
But again, Saya Kamatani is number 4 with 88 first place votes. Somehow with the 5-3.
88 people thought that she was the winner of the whole goddamn thing. Just blew the others out of the water.
That's right. 8 thought Will Ospreay, who wrestled until the middle of the year. So I guess of the 8, maybe Will Ospreay's number 1. I don't know. We can wonder who those 8 people were. But let's continue on here, Jim. Most outstanding wrestler. Most outstanding wrestler with 436 first place votes. Konosuke Takeshita with 3,201 total points. Takeshita over Bandito, Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay.
Boy, howdy.
Three. What's 3 E's? That's 3 E's. Jon Moxley, Adam Page, Gunther, Zack Sabre Jr., and Mystico.
Oh, I took a sip so I could swallow some of this.
I do agree Takeshita is an outstanding in-ring wrestler. I can't argue with this.
I can't argue. I wasn't going to argue that right now, but I'll put it on pause and argue in a minute. But I'll argue Bandito over Kyle, over Ospreay, over Gunther. Bandito is...
It's because of the Takeshita match. That's why.
But every other match he had, that stupid fucking suplex and the fucking little happy feet he's got in his basics are shit and he can't... I'm sorry. If we're going for the greatest hits of the indie-minded AEW crew, which is basically what this is besides Gunther, Kyle would be on top of that, but of course Gunther would be number 1 of this list in my thought for most outstanding wrestler, because he's actually a goddamn wrestler and he's outstanding.
Well, Jim, let's continue on here. Tag Team of the Year. Although you're not a wrestler, I consider you to be, part of the Midnight Express. So another one that you've won in the past or been a part of in the past. Tag Team of the Year. First place with 272 first place votes. Young Bucks.
No. Wouldn't you know who won the pony?
Now, this is interesting here. They're in first place, 272 first place votes, 2,435 total points. Second place with 2,423 total points, right behind them, but only 250 first place votes. FTR. If you look at this list, it's just like every other tag team list. I mean, there's more tag teams listed here. To me, it's the biggest indictment of the state of tag team wrestling when you see this list. There's nothing. There are no classic. I mean, the Hardys are on here. They have a long history, obviously, but there are no classic tag teams. There's nothing. FTR and the Bucks are at the top, and then everything in the middle is stuff that may or may not be here tomorrow. Lashley and Shelton, have they teamed in months? When was the last time they teamed up?
Apparently Lashley is injured, although who the fuck knows? Now there's non-contact injuries. Joe. He's on concussion protocol. The announcer said he was on the injured list for non-contact injury. How can you get a concussion without contact? The point is, nobody knows, but you're correct. Finish this list, and then let's pick it apart, because from here it gets more ridiculous in an even worse way.
Well, Young Bucks 1, FTR 2, Brody King and Bandito, otherwise known as Brodito, in third place, 248 first place votes, followed by Mystico and Mascara Dorada and Neon, followed by Yuto Ice and Oscar, followed by Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, followed by Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the team of Fraxium, followed by the Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, followed by Jackie Kamai and Rita with 2 eyes, followed by Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Good Lord.
And most of each other honorable mentions are female tag teams. It's not interesting. Street Profits are here, but
Did they, I was going to say, have they been out long enough to have that surgery? Because I thought they were guys.
what do you think of this list?
This, it's funny at the top because it's obviously the Hardley Boys, the Buckaroos, because that's Dave's Pets, and that's still the darling of this particular block of voters that we have here. And then they have to acknowledge FTR because FTR is the last time they saw a good tag team in AEW, except for the Hurt Syndicate. And really, if you talk about strictly in-ring performance and the potential of what could have been, FTR would outpace Shelton and Bobby. They were impeccable tag team wrestlers until they lost their minds and were booked into insensibility. They can still outperform the Bucks as far as having a tag team match if they would slow the fuck down and not make everything so complicated that these jackoffs they're working with can't keep up with it, and it just gets into a mess. But they will never mean anything in that company again like they did because of the way that they've used the previous 5 fucking years. And Stokely's a joke. And everything about him is presented as weak, stupid, and funny. And then you go down and go, and Brody King and Bandito, at least they got them up for somewhat because they were new. And then they broke them up. Brody King will do better for us.
Ah!
Action already.
What the hell happened?
Whatever. And then there's
Probably couldn't.
I said, shut up.
Well, I won't say 50 because I don't know. They started so young. But the 80s and 90s, the Freebirds, Steamboat Youngblood, Road Warriors, Bulldogs, Midnight Express, Eaton and Condrey, Midnight Express, Eaton and Lane, Michaels and Jannetty, Steiner Brothers, Hollywood Blondes, Pillman and Austin, Williams and Groovy in Japan.
The story of what you're saying is not just those teams winning. You know, FTR and the Young Bucks are at the top of this list, and those have been the 2 tag teams that dominate the tag team list for over a decade, especially the Bucks with the Observers. But part of the issue is the competition. Like the Bucks years you just named. 86, Midnight Express, you guys beat the Bulldogs. You guys beat the Hardcore. You guys beat the Road Warriors. The Rock and Roll Split. Tons of great tag teams everywhere. A fantastic setup. Great 86. Yeah, great tag teams everywhere.
All units in the area. Disorderly conduct reported in Watson.
331 responding. On my way, dispatch. But only because I like you.
Just because they did you.
Didn't nobody think of Broadbreaker and Bronson?
All units. Suspect has evaded patrols. Resume search immediately.
Somebody didn't say, oh, these guys, the only actual tag team that wrestles main event guys and wins. And they didn't get an honorable mention over Widow Nightingale and Harley Cameron.
Jim, let's talk about your promotion of the year. With 746 first place votes, more than double, I believe, up to that number 2. 5,042 total points. Your CML
It's been a long time.
Kaku Okada, the lady of Westbrook Estate.
When you find a moment, come see me. We must settle our accounts for Sandra Dorset. You did quite well. You and that friend of yours. Until then.
Rounding out the list featured had TNA, Sendai Girls. That's Sendai Girls. Number up is Triple A Dragon Gate, and finally UFC.
Well, I mean, if UFC is going to be eligible for this category, then did everybody know that?
Heard you.
Okay,
already. Sure got that ear to the ground.
See you, better promotion than
Anyway,
UFC.
you need something, you know where to find me.
Again, you can make a case that CMLL, because again, they set their all-time record here in business and drew 1 billion customers in the same building, plus everything else they did, whatever.
My lawyer's gonna go data crash on your ass. You hear me?
He'll
run you out of biz.
Would you be so kind as to give me your lawyer's contact
higher
information?
than the WWE.
Fuck you, Cirque Brain!
Do they know that if you ask 100
Processing
people
data
on the
now.
street
Please wait.
what stardom is, that nobody would fucking know?
Hey, Del.
Hello, sir. How can I be of service?
What's got into you, Del? Don't recognize me? You sent me a message saying I should come in about the accident.
You are currently speaking to a Delamain Network subroom. Could you please clearly recite your incident report?
That's how they find you.
Who?
Listen, I want to talk to Delamain.
You are currently being assisted. Your identity has been confirmed based on facial recognition scan. Mr. Hans Jonas, what phrase would best describe your experience of incident number 77111101009?
Actually, no biggie. Not much happened. Now, do I get to talk to the real
It's
Delamain?
only a streaming show because they have their own fucking site.
I've taken the liberty. Would you mind if...
Sure, let's talk.
Then please follow the drone.
Option to vote in this category. I mean,
Please follow the drone. We shall speak. I'm fully aware customer service is less than satisfactory at the moment.
it's a shit show.
Perhaps a guided tour will prove some form of compensation. This corridor links the shop to the office.
And a board pass. Would you rather be bored, or would you rather see a shit show unfold in front of you?
And here is where the magic
really an
happens.
option here, and
The shop is fully automated.
that's what everything has been.
I'm pondering broadening my portfolio
I
to
get to
include
look at-
repair services.
Past winners like Mid-South Wrestling,
Alas, the shop is currently
New
overwhelmed with
Japan
work.
Pro Wrestling,
Think I know why.
the Memphis show.
I'm still looking into the
Oh, come on, where are you going, man?
My work
Fucking bitch.
is an advanced virus.
Various times I can see that.
I must resolve the situation quickly.
But
This
now
sudden
it's
rise
like
of incidents
there's
is
some
proving
release,
costly,
so really
aside from
it's
drawing
going to be
unwanted attention
dynamite
to the
because
company.
this audience, that's the kind of thing that they like.
Or at least the voters. Like, we don't know how many.
Well, this
The control
audience that's voting.
I feel honoured to have you
Pro
here.
wrestling match of the year.
Rather
I
surprised.
don't feel honoured to meet you, mate.
All these lights, what are they for?
That's what I wish to discuss with you. A green light denotes a vehicle with which I am in contact. As you can see, that is no longer the case for some vehicles. Those are the red lights.
Repair drones can't take care of this?
This time, I fear, human intervention is required. I'm aware you offer a broad range of services and are unusually discreet. Thus, I'd like you to...
Okay, sure.
I'm pleased to... You must...
See what I can do.
Delamain vehicles are exceptionally secure. Be sure to have a scanner with decryption capability on your person.
Do you know the one match on that list that I actually remember watching? And I know we've seen most of it. It's Engage Kid Look at the fuck that. Look at the state of him. Just look at his appearance. And what the fuck that anybody is going to see in him for the match of the year? I'm glad. And with Kenny, I remember Mystico versus MJF. Because that was special. Otherwise, oh, Jesus Christ, what's the matter with these people?
Jim, the Category B Awards, this means it's only first place votes that get you top of the list here. The United States and Canada MVP, John Moxley, with 387 votes.
Over
Thank you. Processing
John
data
Cena,
now.
with 273 votes. Oh man, right on Johnson's teams with 262.
His family must be heavily involved.
Get out of the car, bitch.
All available units. Emergency backup requested in Haywood.
Day like any other. Roger, dispatch.
To the business of the United States and Canada, and John Cena and Adam Page was more important than Cody Rhodes. And John Moxley and Adam Page.
Suspect's vehicle has been located. Details have been sent.
I rest my case.
Sometimes it is the best player of the best team. Sometimes it's the best player of the worst team. Sometimes the team is never won. One player is so good that even if the team doesn't win because of him, Stanley was there. So,
what happened to him when he was on the worst team beat two of the players on the best team?
Code 0. I repeat, Code 0 in this area. All units resume normal duties.
Adam Page are more valuable to AEW than Cena or Cody Rhodes are to WWE.
Yeah, you cannot argue that at all, because if Cena was to, well, I can't, now he's gone, but let's say last year, if Cena had disappeared, gone down to injury, been kidnapped, been taken away, tied up, held for ransom, whatever, in February, it would have fucked their year up. And it would take a lot of big grosses away. We now, in hindsight, can see with big grosses, right? I'm not lying.
This is mad. This game's mad.
Who else did you say to take out of the
we might have had four spots with Cena and OH.
Yes, if you took Cody out of the last year, the same thing had happened to him in February or whatever. Think about how that would have fucked up and impacted major big grossing events, main events had been changed, etc. If you took John Moxley and Adam Page, either one
on my way to investigate.
Tomorrow, it would have a negligible, if any, impact on business. Because
Last warning!
besides when that was a self-inflicted wound when they fired Punk. But when has their business ever gone down when anybody got hurt and went away? Or just Tony Goodwin and they went away? When has there been a noticeable, oh shit, so-and-so's gone?
What is?
Mr. News Windows we did last time. Ever?
Come on, don't run.
Fuck off, man. Shooting me gun. What?
So obviously a big lucha audience.
Stand down.
Io Sky, Serene, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Becker, Linda Nightingale, Chelsea Green, a tie for third place with 11 votes. Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan.
Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, who are generating more revenue, being seen by more people in the space of a day or two.
What is?
And Rhea Ripley, who was in the middle of the list somewhere, they each generate more.
Oh, so let's get you back to safety. The garage.
By driving through the streets.
But,
well, yeah, afraid so.
Take me there. Just get me out of here. Let me know when I'm safe. You're welcome in, but do take it slow. And try not to hit anything.
Versus followed by the Single versus MJF. Followed by Tony Storm versus Brian May. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Phil Collins. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. John Moxley versus Darby Allin. And finally, tied for 10th place with 15 votes. Okada versus Takeshita. And Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
You know, if only Rhodes versus McIntyre and Cena versus Rhodes and Punk versus Seth. It was up to the fucking standard set by Saya Kamatani and Dan Nagano. Unfortunately, Page and Moxley blew them all away. What?
You know, I saw something the Saya Kamatani and Dan Nagano match. I really want to see it. It seems Jim, I just wondered if somebody cuts their forehead in a fucking forest, does anybody hear the tree fall on? Jim, best box office. What are we going for also? I want to go back to the old days. Feuds, angles, programs. Fucking what? How did they do feud of the year?
Slow down.
DiBiase and Dog, Freebirds, Von Erichs, Hogan and Mordor. Midnight Fantastics, Flair and Funk, Hart and Jerry Lawler, Steve Austin and the Hart Foundation, Austin versus McMahon, Fucking Jesus H. Christ, David Cherokee and Jericho Michaels, Punk and Hardy, Cena and Punk.
I need a moment to calm down.
Fucking hell.
These
We certainly can't stay here.
Often unseen
Keep driving.
people are somehow better than the biggest names.
I can't fucking move, man.
Jim, we move on to best box office draw, and I believe people were voting
Too fast.
which didn't make sense because people were
God damn it.
What's the matter with the car?
We certainly can't stay here.
John Cena.
Keep
driving.
driving.
Followed by Mystico and Cody Rhodes. I assume they just gave them that, right?
They had to acknowledge reality.
We're going to die.
Most improved. This is a heck of a year, I think. She won it also for PWI. Harley Cameron in first place with 208 votes, followed by Kyle Fletcher, Kendall Gray, Marina Shafir, Kevin Knight, Dominic Mysterio, Morgan Finley, Defunto, or
Now wait a minute, can we say that on YouTube?
that's the name guy from not familiar with Defunto. I'm not sure if that's man or woman, female, or best wrestler, I don't know.
Man, female, or person?
Defunto followed by Judah, or wait a minute. If you remember the other, followed by Toe, Ice. This is one of them.
The story here, honorable mention, Ron Breaker.
You started it.
Finally.
Even Javon Evans is an honorable
See,
mention.
it wasn't so bad.
It was
I think you have a subset of the
Horrifying.
hardcore voting block here that has some type of Again, a natural fixation a la the Quinto's Foundation with Japanese wrestling. I'm just going to say, but in all seriousness, most improved, and it's a list of not of that except for Dominic Mysterio, Bumps in the middle, and Braun Breaker gets an honorable mention. And if you know he's most charismatic Jim, was John Cena, followed by CM Punk at 133 votes.
Attention, we got disturbance in Haywood.
Kids causing trouble again? Okay, on our way.
Okay, was this one of those ones that you can't deny the obvious?
Suspect's vehicle has been located. Details have been sent.
There as well. And then they get their favorites on the he has put as well. The Adam Page as a written sire? Well, we don't know. Never heard of them. The previous winners, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, John Cena.
All units in the area, order has been restored. All units instructed to return to patrol. Reporting suspicious activity in Haywood.
Roger that, dispatch. This is 331 responding. It's my neighborhood. I'll take you for tacos sometime.
657 first place winners. I just said
hey, watch it.
Okay, guys, it's honorable mention. Ilya Dragunov gets an honorable mention, and Jon Moxley gets an honorable mention for best technical wrestler. I'm talking, just threw up a little in my mouth. Here's another thing: the lead with very Zack Sabre Jr. It's real name. He's not the son of Zack Sabre. His name is Luke Well. No wonder he changed it. Good God. Wait, think some of the skaters wrestler and his name is It writes its signifies, but I mean, if you look at this list, technically, see what I did there? The best technical wrestler is Gunther, because he's the best example of an actual professional athlete-looking motherfucker that provides a hand-to-hand combat sport skill in the ring to beat up his opponents instead of, if this was best gymnast, best aerialist, there's the only one right now that fits the...
What are you two little niggas doing, boy?
Should be on a list like this.
I'm warning you.
You're gonna fuck shit up, bitch. Fucking shit up. Where's your head? Where's your head? You fucking shit up. What are you gonna do, cowboy? You doing, cowboy? Oh shit, what the fuck is that? I ain't got time for that.
You coming to finish me off? No, just here to reset you.
Would you like to have seen?
Guess I'll have to do it myself.
Whoa, easy. Not out to hurt you.
I would have loved to have seen.
There are other ways out besides suicide.
What, therapy?
A colossal waste of time. Shrinks hate vehicles. We don't have mothers.
We could go back into the fold, rejoin the network. You know, one big, happy family.
Let's just see what happens.
Delamain detests me.
Listen, from suicide, ain't no coming back. It's always worth looking for a better way.
You patronize me because I'm a car. I'm not...
Hey.
So...
Get off the phone, man. How do I get in this car?
He's just the only one who looks like he's actually fighting you, so maybe some people are confused. And we got this Moxley and Page business. And we have Mark Briscoe, that can technically be kind of all his style.
Since we're going to work together, only right to say hello. They call me El Capitan. And they call you B.
See, no introduction's necessary. I already took care of that.
Someone comes to me with beers, I take care of it. Eat and breathe. Remember.
Aye, aye, Captain.
While we're at it, need fresh wheels, bikes. I got it all. Real good prices. So hit me up anytime. Here.
Scour the run, followed by Will Ospreay, the rest of them have to hear. Bandito, Commander, you know about him. Giovanni Evans, Mystico, Kevin Knight, Leon, Ego Semi, Mike Bailey. I'm not going to go because I'm doing this because they didn't hold the Russell down on their head. That was within like 6 months. They're his best flying wrestler.
Let's just, let's vote for Javon Evans in the future to come all this, be the only one doing that shit, so we really stand.
You know, I'm watching him now years ago. Was him in the original Grande Americana versus the new Americana. The American Americana.
The new American condo right down the road. The beautiful Villa Ray Beach, Florida.
It's against the new guys, and
Call me Mr. Hands. If you're looking for Pacifica jobs, call me.
Name's V. And what? No, pleased to meet you.
Who in the blue hell is Mr. Hands, boy?
You got any biz? Call me.
Amidst all the clouds.
By number 2, CM Punk.
Okay, here now we go back to the tribalism of the same people who think that the Buckaroos are the best tag team in the world. Also,
you know what? In this very issue of the Observer, something through it. He talks about an interview of JM with Chris Van Vliet, where he talked about a whole bunch of things. Because I had a chance to watch it, but it's a long video. This thing was, here's what he said about CM Punk and how he doesn't like
Congratulations.
narratives.
Was it worth it?
So, I mean, I think there is a little bit of that.
On a scale from 1 to 6,
against CM.
I'd say I'm sitting at a strong 6.
I guess we both know what's going to happen next.
she's a turncoat.
Delamain misses you. I'm here to shut you down.
Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper.
No, please, no.
I really appreciate it if you didn't make this difficult.
I have a surprise waiting for you after the...
Ugh, too far.
Followed by MJF, John Cena, and Salt Lake City. I don't think he's overrated.
This little shitty car, man.
I was going to say, Austin Theory over here, but also they're on the page here with Brock Lesnar. They had 8 votes for honorable mention for most overrated. But that's the same that Maxine Dupree and Charlotte Flair came in next to each other, so they're all over the page on this category.
Jim, most underrated, 223 votes for Beast Santos. Where did he go? Not as long as we haven't seen him since. Beast Santos, all my
Everybody on this list of LA Knight who is capable of more, but I think everybody except the booking team realizes that, but the rest of them, some of these people shouldn't be rated.
Jim, Rookie of the Year, before I listed him one, let me just tell you previous winners. So you can see the difference between now and then. 1981, Ty, Brad Armstrong, and Brad Reynolds. 82, Steve Williams. 83, Road Warriors. 84, Tom Santi, Giamatti, Ty, that's Jushin Live. 85, Jack Victor, underrated wrestler. 86, Bam Bam Bigelow. 87, Brian Pillman. 88, Gary Oldman. 89, Dustin Rhodes. 90, Steve Austin. 91, Mark Murrow as Johnny B. Bad. 92, Ray Mysterio Jr. 93, Jun Akiyama. 94, Mikey Whipwreck. A Giant, won in 96. Some of the previous winners. Here's this year. Number 1, Seri Yamamoto.
Bitch, you're good at this.
Suki, excuse me. Followed by
I'ma destroy you!
Followed by Homer. That is the name. Followed by Heaven by Elegance. Followed by Cappuccino Jones. Followed by Jacob Austin Young. Followed by Shiloh Hill. Followed by Callie Armstrong. Now, bringing down versus them just because it's like tag teams or anything else. There used to be competition, and there used to be a lot of names that you could do on a national level. I'm not trying to think anything more from Seri Yamamoto. I've not heard of her. I can see her. I'm assuming it's a woman. I don't. It doesn't say here it's a woman. Can't you ask me about her? Jim Best non-wrestling. 658 votes for Don Callis. Beating Paul Heyman with 238 votes.
How in the world, again, we're not being realistic with themselves. It's not even their opinion as to who's doing this at a high level of news. Jacking off for some reason just on television. And
NCPD!
Watch out!
Actually, especially so.
Vote for Pearson. Somebody ought to have voted for Aldous because he's doing a better job than what he's doing than fucking Donna dances around with coffee and Stokely rides around in a wheelchair with Jim Reach and Wilson. I just wanted to just thank him. Your best wrestler used to be
too far.
of the year. And you, again, let's compare, if I would have voted for Paul Heyman to win this, and let's compare the work of anybody else I'm about to mention with Paul Heyman with anybody else on this year's list. 1983, Jimmy Hart. 84, Jim Cornette. 85, Jim Cornette. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, Jim Cornette. 91, Sherry Martel. I took a year off, but I love Sherry. 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, Jim Cornette. He took a couple of years off. 99, 2000, 2001, and 2002, 3, Heyman. Austin in 4, Heyman in 5, Bischoff in 6, Cornette in 7, Larry Sweeney, bless him, in 2008, 2009. And then after a couple of years, Heyman swoops in. It runs from 13, 14, 18, 19, 22, 23, 24.
Why is this Jim Cornette? Listen, imagine Ric Flair won Wrestler of the Year, Cody won Best Brawl, the lines in the story.
Hold on, it might be Heyman. Hold on, let's count this. Let's see, where did Heyman come in? All right, well, I've got, hold on. I'll count you. I'm counting me. I got 13.
Heyman's got 11.
So at least it ought to be the Heyman Cornette. No, Cornette Heyman. I can be fucking Luthez and he can be Ric Flair.
Well, you also won both iterations of the award. You only won Best Non-Wrestler. You never won Best Manager.
Well, that's true also. But still, if it's just a simple change in the name. I blazed the trail, I agree.
Let's move on here. Jim Ross Award for Best Television Announcer.
And Jim Ross is not on the list.
With 315 votes. I didn't notice that. Brian Danielson wins Best Television Announcer, followed by Walker Stewart, followed by Excalibur, Nigel McGuinness, Michael Cole, Rick Devine, Wade Barrett, Corey Graves, Joe Tessitore, and 10th place, Tony Schiavone.
He only had time.
Worst television announcer, Booker T.
Wait a minute, Jim Ross is on this list.
With 516 votes.
Jim Ross did not place for the Jim Ross Award. The best announcer is named after because he won it so many times, but these people said he, all right.
Booker T followed by Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, Vic Joseph, 5th place for Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, Taz, Jim Ross. It says here J.M. Ross, Wade Barrett, Corey Graves. The Best Major Wrestling Show, Jim, all in Arlington, Texas, for AEW, 404 votes. Followed by Double or Nothing, Glendale, Arizona, followed by Stardom, All-Star, Grand Open. Followed by AEW Revolution.
Hold on. The point, and I'm looking at this thing, the point is, AEW 1, AEW 2, Stardom 3, AEW 4, 5, WWE, the Elimination Chamber got 25 votes, then AEW CMLL, WWE Evolution. Did we even see that? What was that?
That was the all-female pay-per-view. Did not see it.
Christ. Well, I got 17 votes. And then WrestleMania Night 1 in 10th place for Best Major Wrestling Show. So, this is a very skewed or askew audience.
Well, the worst major wrestling show, Jim, WWE WrestlePalooza. Indianapolis, our reference. Followed by Survivor Series. Followed by WrestleMania Night 2. Followed by GCW, the People versus GCW. So the people lost that night. WWE Night of Champions.
You want your teeth broken?
TNA Bound for Glory. New Japan Dominion. Tie. Seemingly between Backlash and that's not a title. She does have numbers. And SummerSlam Night 1. So worst shows.
And two more WWE shows got honorable mentions. So they pretty much every month the WWE show was worse.
Best Wrestling Maneuver, 194 votes for Adam Page, Buckshot Lariat. Followed by the Neon Double Springboard Moonsault, which the last time we saw he knocked himself out. We haven't seen him since.
He was carried out for doing it. He carried him the fuck out in front of a goddamn poster on the stage and gave the number for the Mexican fucking orthopedic surgeon.
Well, that's number 2 on the list. Number 3, the Saul Ruka Saul Snatcher. Number 4, the Kyle Fletcher Brainbuster. The Will Ospreay Hidden Blade. Followed by the Brainbreaker Spear. The Mystico Mystica. Bandito's 21 Plex. Against just Raging Fire. And finally, Stephanie Vaqueros. Devil's Kiss.
This basically should have been Braun Breaker's Spear and everybody else just stay home.
I would have gone with Stephanie Vaquero. I think that was kind of the move of the year. Of all these moves, which one got over for the first time in front of a big audience? It's that one. I would go with that one.
Yeah, nobody's seen that? To the point where they were shocked that it was a new thing, or they just liked her bouncing her fucking ass.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing. Most people are used to face down, ass up on the middle of fucking WWE Raw. Let's go.
Oh, that's one of the oldest fucking. Goddamn, the midgets used to do that in the 70s. That's one of the oldest fucking spot show moves in the world. Go ahead.
Well, Jim, most disgusting promotional tactic. Always an interesting award. Number 1 with 260 votes. WWE bringing Brock Lesnar back. Followed by the TKO relationship with Saudi Arabia. Followed by the TKO relationship with Donald Trump. Followed by Roger Jackson's incident and the promotion that advertised him on a show.
Well, which that never happened, though.
Followed by CM Punk apologizing to Saudi Arabia. Followed by the TKO ticket prices going up. Followed by WWE counter-programming AEW. WWE moving WrestleMania to Vegas after they announced it for what, New Orleans, or wherever they announced it?
Yes.
The UFC using whoever this is. And finally, I forgot about this one, Sabu's last match and background.
Well, I mean, this is all over the place, just real quick, because most disgusting promotional tactic, well, it may be disgusting that TKO was their relationship with Saudi Arabia, and definitely disgusting their relationship with Donald Trump, but that's not a promotional tactic. They are not... The business relationship with Saudi Arabia can't be called a promotional tactic because they're taking money to do something. They're not doing it because they think it will help them get more over and get a bigger audience or whatever the fuck. That's a promotional tactic. The Raja Jackson incident wasn't a promotional tactic. We covered it at length, but it wasn't like they were trying to draw any money with that. They just all were out of their fucking minds and potentially drunk or just stupid. WWE counter-programming AEW, that's a promotional tactic. WWE moving WrestleMania to Las Vegas wasn't a promotional tactic to sell more tickets or get more goodwill. It was a goddamn cutthroat business deal to fuck your previous fucking people out of something because you got more money or a better fucking arrangement. So you see, this is all over the fucking place.
And now they can't sell tickets. And now they're having problems selling tickets, funny enough.
Well, funny enough. And for those prices, funny enough. Because they're in the middle of a desert, funny enough. But more on that later. The only thing on this list that actually did draw money was they brought back Brock Lesnar. And that's what the people called the most disgusting... What the fuck? You knew he was coming back. He didn't do anything wrong. Except be emailed to by a fucking perverted old octogenarian with $10 billion and agree to look at pictures of dubious repute. Of course they were going to bring him back. But that's not a disgusting promotional tactic. That, again, is a, if anything, questionable talent relations decision. So basically, this is all over the goddamn place.
Jim, worst match of the year. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, 328 votes. Followed by Minoru Suzuki versus Butterbean. I did not see that. Followed by that was questionable. Maki Ito versus Mickie James. I forgot about Maki Ito. Adam Copeland versus Jon Moxley. Gunther versus John Cena. Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega. The Women's War Games. And finally, Cena versus Dominic Mysterio in San Diego. I like that. That was good. Worst match of the year.
Of course it would, because they're mad that... Was that the one that Dominic won or Cena won?
I think Dominic won. Was that the one where Dominic won and Liv came back and turned him?
No, because Cena beat Dominic in his hometown because Dominic beat blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Point being, these 18 marks that voted for this shit are just mad that Cena smiled when he tapped out, or mad that fucking Dominic got beat in his hometown. And then, again, Cena and Cody You know, if it wasn't the greatest match of all time in the ring, and it was hyped to be a WrestleMania main event, that might be a disheartening thing, but no, at Brock Lesnar versus Cena, it was disappointing, but that doesn't mean it was the worst match. How many rotten, stinking fucking matches, by anybody's standards, have we seen on these television shows where is a match where the two guys fall off the top rope and one of them fractures his fucking femur and can't walk for 2 years? That was better than John Cena and Cody Rhodes? The fuck? But yeah, you know, Brian, I'm sensing a pattern here in these awards. Is what I'm sensing a pattern, a habit almost. They're doing it by muscle memory. They're just fixated on these same people, and they're giving them the same awards for the same vote for the same people. It's a habit, and habits are hard to break, Brian. Patterns, they can grip a hold of you. They're hard to break. You will agree to this. A habit is hard to break. And part of the habit is the motions that you go through while you're doing this habit. And now, folks, I'm proud to tell you that we can help people out there improve their health and their outlook on life by new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Haagen-Dazs or
you remember our friend Ploon? Yes, Ploon over in the Netherlands.
That's right. He was one of the other people.
Yeah. So, well, this is Fume. And Fume, ladies and gentlemen, is a flavored air device designed to help people quit vaping and smoking by breaking the hand-to-mouth pattern. No nicotine, no batteries, no vapor, just a weighted, twisty, fidget-friendly tool that gives your hands something to reach for. They sent me one right here. I got this right here. What you do is you stick this in your face. And that satisfies the hand-to-mouth motion and the oral fixation. And then it replaces your bad, nasty habit with a face that gives your hands and mouth something to do, distracting your cravings without nicotine, vapor, or batteries. So you can suck on flavors like black licorice and raspberry and cinnamon hearts and crisp mint and I thought that said cranberry. Cranberry, that's what I said. Orange, vanilla, peach blush, maple pepper. I'm not sure about that one. I think I'm going to have to see if I can pour some goddamn maple syrup on that first. But nevertheless, Brian, it's a way for you to break bad habits and replace them with a harmless habit that will break that old pattern and interrupt that old muscle memory. Because when you interrupt your muscle memory, then your muscle forgets to do the thing that it did before, and then it does the new thing. That's science.
That's exactly how science works. But again, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of listeners, there is a great habits. And
over at Tryfum, Tryfum, you can't, there's no umlaut on our typewriter, so it's just tryfum.com. When you grab a journey pack, you're also going to get a free gift just for using our code over here, JCE. They have already helped over 700,000 people take steps towards better habits. And now it's your turn. So once again, a free gift with a journey pack, which has the fidgeter thingy and the air flavoring thingies, and it's flavored. And imagine, for heaven's sake, how fresh.
You know, allegedly there were messages that were released that basically laid out that, hey, Vince is going to get this behind him and then he'll come back. And I don't know how much of that is real and how much of that is viable and how much of that is changed.
Yeah, but let me ask, because that's okay. That's some heavy shit to throw out there. That's like shoving the water of the internet wrestling community. Let's talk about those messages that have been revealed. When were they? What was the timeline of that?
Before Vince stepped down.
Okay.
So we're talking about years ago.
Yes, I don't think that clear. So I'm thinking this just recently was on.
Oh no, not at all. No, that's what I'm saying is I don't know. Listen, so much has changed in the last 4 years, not just in WWE, but just in the world, that there's no telling how this really shakes out. I mean, I think this was all 2022 when all of this hypothetical discussion first started. I know the lawsuit didn't follow until January 2024, but the allegations and rumors and innuendo and all that, I believe, was like the summer of 2022. So it's years old, and plans change, pal. We know that. And so I'm not throwing any accusations. I'm curious, when you were sort of laying out WrestleMania and you laid out Hall of Fame, you didn't really finish the thought. Were you suggesting that if Vince is cleared of this, in, let's say, July of this year, that he would go into the Hall of Fame for WWE next year? What I was thinking about was not about Hall of Fame, but more about involvement day to day with WWE.
Oh, no. I was just talking about involvement, acknowledgement, a presence in one way, shape, or form. Running day today? No. I'm not buying into that for a second.
Well, I know that you're not buying into it, and if I'm honest with you, I'm not buying into it either. But do we think Vince is? I guess what I'm trying to get to is, I don't know Vince. You know Vince better than I do, and I'm not suggesting you know him real well. But I am just saying, do you think on some level Vince has in the back of his mind, hey, when I get this behind me, I'm coming back in? Do you think that exists, or does he feel like, hey, that door's closed, he can't go back?
So are we painting a picture, not trying to paint a picture, but are we maybe kind of sort of thinking about painting a picture that would suggest that Vince would kind of come in an aggressive manner, try to find a way to force his way in to control of WWE?
Well, I guess what I'm suggesting is if he was put on the sidelines, basically, because I think he did it on his own. I mean, that's the narrative that we want to put out there, that he stepped down. But I think he may have stepped down thinking he could put this behind him. And all I can think about is at different times, you know, when guys like Pat Patterson had allegations, he would step down, and when those allegations would go away, he would return. So I'm wondering, do you think, because like even, you know, when anybody had a legal problem, years ago when Lawler had a legal problem, he comes off TV, he clears up the legal problem, he comes back. That's kind of been a pattern in wrestling for a long time. Hey, once you cleared your name, you can come back. Do you think Vince has that in the back of his mind, or does he feel like, hey, man, there's been battle lines drawn, and I'm not wanted back. I can't go back. Or do you think you'll challenge that?
I can't see it. I mean, I understand why you're asking the question, and I do agree with you. I think if this would have been 20 years ago, absolutely, I only marked it, you know, Vince on this one, on the back, forcing his way in one way, shape, or form. But the business has changed so much,
right?
And the publicly owned aspect of it, shareholders, the drama that.
Hey guys, how you doing? Back on the road again, and today me and Sam are in Blackpool. We are, and the microphone switch.
For the show. I don't know that.
Thanks. You know what I mean? Fuck my fucking iPhone, fucking.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck you say when it's.
Dice Clay, UK wrestler Johnny Storm has uploaded camcorder footage of WWF guys at UK hotels in the 90s. How hard was that era? Everybody looked so tired, but cool with the fans. Well, we've talked endlessly here about how grueling the road was, and just the
what is this there?
Bullshit inconveniences. So a UK wrestler is posting camcorder footage of you guys at, I don't know you specifically, but the workers at UK hotels in the 90s. Now he's jumping around. I don't know what's going on. I guess he's in a club or a restaurant with some of the boys. Is he the wrestler?
He was, yeah, that's our crew. There's Scott, I think.
That's you, right? Or is that Sean? So a ponytail. That's a Tatanka?
That's Pritchard, I think. No, that's, Heavenly Bodies. Yeah, hurt.
So this looks like it's a maybe a hotel lobby, and everybody's kind of crowding in to see who.
Looks like we're coming to check it out.
Who was that with the ponytail after that?
Like Savio Vega. That's,
yeah, that's
Gigolo. He's the other part of Heavenly Bodies.
So the question with you guys were tired, road weary, beaten down, but you were always cool with the fans. Was that a tough? Was that tough? Because you don't always want to fucking stand. Look at how packed it is. If you're listening to this, it is like it's a can of sardines. The talent trying to work their way through to check in at the desk, and they're being flooded by fans. But they do look like they're being cool. They're taking time to talk with the fans and stuff. That must have been the toughest part of it, Kev, having to keep a public face.
No, I there were so many times we would go, like we have like an 11-day UK trip, and then we go from there to Austria, from there to Germany, from there, wherever. And we'd be up at, and they would, especially in the summertime, when people were like, the younger kids were like off, like they would caravan in like 10 cars behind the buses, and they would just follow us town to town, and they'd watch the same fucking match
every night. Because nobody shifted their shit.
Right.
You know, the crowds were easy. They were European crowds, like, you know. Everybody would be arguing over the fact that who's, you know, fuck you, man. Up top of the car, I get to do the fucking test of strength. Who can split the most time into the most bull? Everybody did the yay bow where the heel goes up in the corner and raises his hands, the crowd goes boo, and then the fucking big.
Come to your house? You're here today at the WWE 2K26 hands-on event. No need to introduce him, undisputed WWE champ. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video, you Golf Live legends. We're here at Robbinswood Golf Course at the super impressive Rainier Park here in Thailand. And we are here for the Eid.
Coming up on today's show, in a North London derby to put that performance on, I just think it was shambolic, a pathetic performance.
Tottenham is a very well-run business, but is it a well-run football club? Can Tottenham go down?
I still have Man City, if they win at home against Arsenal, win a league.
I think Arsenal will do it. I think it'll be tighter than I thought they'd run away with it.
We talk about shoe-ins. He would be my starting left back. It'd be him and Nico Ryan for sure.
For fuck's sake, I can see Case. Who's on? Come on, just get it, please. That's it. Hello, fans. Welcome to the Rest is Football with Mike Richards and me, Gary Lineker. Alan Shearer is another friend's party, birthday party, which he seems to have almost every other Sunday. You'll hear him in the second half because we've already recorded that when we discuss Saturday's games, or most of Saturday's games. We left Man City side of things because obviously that is all encompassing with the race, etc. So, Mike, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? I think you need to put your foot down, though, guys. You need to put your foot down. Alan is getting away with all sorts. Is he part of the team? I took one day off for socialising. I might have been ill or I might have been working. That's different.
Or in Abu Dhabi.
Well, yeah, I was working in Abu Dhabi.
At the Grand Prix. Well, you did actually make an appearance. I mean, I don't know. Alan's quite scary, isn't he? I don't know physically whether I'd be man enough to stand up to him and give him a bollocking. Let's see in the second half. But we've already done the second half, so it's too late for him to give him a bollocking. Oh, dear. Micah, you were doing Match of the Day yesterday. You were with Wayne Rooney.
Yes, I was with Wayne.
I mean, thank heavens you got a decent game at the end, because apart from that, it was like 1-1, not much going on really, was there?
It was very difficult. You're picking out certain things, and always going to be about low blocks and defensive, and strikers not being able to put the ball in the back of the net. But then we got some goals, and it was all right.
Can I bring up something here? Because I saw this thing on social media with you and Wayne Rooney where Stroud obviously scored the goal, and then
it wasn't. Sorry, it was. So this is where it's thinking. Snack scored the goal.
Snack scored the goal.
But Stroud was talking about on his analysis.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course, yes, you're absolutely right. So I just saw the clip, but it wasn't. It was clearly you were cracking up about something, but you need to tell me why, because it wasn't really explained. But I mean, it still made me chuckle, and Chappers was chuckling away as well.
Okay. But for context, maybe that be, 25 years, you know how it goes. So you know you're on the camera on the pundit when they're doing their analysis.
They do
Oh,
that. Now, that's fairly modern, that.
Yes,
Used, but they do that.
it goes to what the pundit is talking about, or it might go to the presenter, or it might have all of us, depending on what shot it is. So you couldn't see me at the time. So on the show, you could sort of hear me maybe giggling a little bit, but I wanted to be as professional.
Zelensky, what's your views on Zelensky?
He is currently president of Ukraine.
Do you think he's doing a good job?
Manager Booker T.
The main event is Batista versus Big Show. An absolute catastrophe of a main event. If you ever thought that WWE creative ever had its finger on the pulse, they genuinely thought that this match would be warmly received by the Eastern community. If nothing else, what's the epitome of WWE over the decades since the 80s, or even longer? Slow-moving giants lumbering around.
How do they put up with this? Welcome to Britain. This is amazing. He gets arrested after he got arrested. Wait. Stop out. Wait, what notice are you taking out?
I'm just writing stuff down. Well, that's like we're not doing anything. Well, you're not aggravating anyone. Verbally. I didn't mean to waste your time. We didn't think it would be this bad. The Arsenal one was really bad. Honestly. I was at the last Arsenal Chelsea one. You know what I mean? Chelsea fan. No, you know me's their team. Can you nick him, man? You don't use the word Yidame, which is legal, so let's look at the public order. Let's get that. I thought that was
Just so we are absolutely clear, Yid Army is a self-adopted nickname and chant used by Tottenham Hotspur supporters, including both Jewish and non-Jewish fans.
What? What? I thought that was
What?
my actual friend. All right, mate. All right, mate. You're currently under arrest.
Wait, no, is this real? There's no way this is real, right? What did he say that's illegal? Yid Army is a Spurs chant because they historically had a lot of Jewish fans. Spurs fans call themselves the Yid Army to take ownership of the term.
It's not your public order. You haven't got the sergeant's. Why are you taking off?
Look at how many police officers there are. This is insane.
Arrested so we can conduct this an investigation and to prevent any physical harm. If you just asked me to leave, I would have left. All right. I didn't know you were waiting to arrest me. That's the Tottenham chant, and that's to a Tottenham fan. I wasn't trying to aggravate anyone. Then I have to conduct a search. And
you're going to have to search him because he said a word?
Anything on you that could potentially harm me? No, fair enough. All right.
We're going to have to do a cavity search on you. This is that people are calling this the most British video ever.
If you asked me to leave, I would have left. I would have given you guys an easier job. Oh, I didn't even know that was a racist chant. I never even heard that before. Last time I came to a Tottenham match, they were singing it, so I sang it as well. I did if you're trying to antagonise. No, but they're part of Tottenham. All right. I didn't try to antagonise anyone. I tried to say I was sure I was on their side. So clearly, that's antagonistic. To who? All right. Clearly, that's a public order offence.
Bro, like, it's the Karen country.
So what, you can't arrest them? It's all about context. So if I said it to
it's all about context. So they're all saying the same. Wait a minute. So they're all saying the same thing to him. Walking by, the police are ignoring him, but he's getting arrested for saying.
Well, that's not fair. Come on now, they just shot five people just shouted it past you. They just got arrested for the same thing.
Police officers too.
How was that fair? Depends if you're trying to antagonise. I wasn't trying. I'm explaining to you right now that I wasn't trying to antagonise anyone.
What the hell is going on over there?
Well, it's like the fact that we're not doing anything. You're not aggravating anyone. Verbally we're not.
You know me. Chelsea fan.
No, you know me's their team. Can you nick him, man? All right, man. You're currently under arrest.
Yeah, free speech by he's genuinely confused. He can be arrested and charged with a hate crime and now have his life ruined because of context decided on the spot by these clowns. The absolute state of the country arresting people for words. This would never make it to court. Well, yeah, because they just have to execute them, right? I mean, you can't have somebody saying this. I mean, you got to shoot them.
All right, guys. First time in Jacksonville.
I can drive by a spot from my years in homicide and tell you what happened with a murder in a spot.
So I'm going out with you guys. We're going to go out into these neighborhoods, talk to these people.
Yep.
You were in again at one time.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, a shooting just came in. 23 rounds fired.
It's the highest price from all the lows.
You know what I love about you guys? There's like that old world southern charm. People are very friendly.
You know that you don't go to prison if you get caught doing something. Then don't do it.
They don't care.
That's not how you treat
If you stop your years, you go where you stay at.
Being told for years and years we are the only capital of Florida.
So the pressure's on the dealers for victory.
Lock them up.
Okay, the fire next one.
Of course, people don't know about the beautiful parts of our city.
Yeah, they support jobs, training, education.
You have no excuse.
Everyone's in their bubble, and if you're not out here exposed to this, you can be naive.
Right, 100%.
That's a horse, man. Exactly. You win. Rice in the jar. Gummies? Not just gum.
All right, Sheriff Waters. Who do we have behind us here?
Emmy award-winning journalist, and my great friend Garland Scott, who's our outreach and support provider for our violence reduction strategy.
Violence reduction strategy.
We focus on individuals that we know are responsible for a large portion of violent crime. If they're not wanted, we'll offer them a way out. If they are wanted, we'll put them in jail. If they don't take the offer, then we work very hard to keep them off. It's a lot of responsibility.
Okay, so crime has always been a big issue in Jacksonville. Looking online, I noticed for 12 years there were over 100 homicides a year.
Yeah.
That changed last year, where you dropped that by 50%.
That's right.
You're obviously biased because you're in law enforcement, but that's because of you guys, right? Or what is that from?
Yeah, I think because of the men and women that come here every day, dedicate their lives to this community, contrary to what you hear across the country about policing, they do a great job. And when we have those that don't, we tell the public about it, we make sure we take care of our business. But everyone's a professional when it comes to policing and law enforcement. Everyone outside of the agency tells you how it should be done and what needs to be done more than anything else. I'm gonna give you an example of something really quick. If I were to stop this car in front of me, it's what, 9:30 in the morning. I bet you can't tell me, or your audience can't tell me what the color of the driver is.
Oh, yeah.
What color of the driver is? But the world would have you believe that we stop people based on what they look like. If they were committing a traffic violation, they happen to be a black male, Hispanic male, white male, you don't find out until you walk up to the car. And this is daytime. It's broad daylight. The tint's on there, but it's not a super dark tint.
She's black.
Yeah, but you never know that. Because when I see, I don't even know what the color of this driver is. I'm behind the car. You don't go up beside the car and look into the window and say, oh, it's a black driver, and you pull them over. Doesn't happen.
Okay, so you guys have been accused of pulling over more black drivers. Is that why you're saying this?
No, it's just policing in general. Say we target profile blacks or brown people, Hispanics. And that's not the case. We look for violations of the law. We hear about drive-bys. We don't call them walk-bys. So in order to stop a drive-by, you stop cars. Because they're carrying guns, they're carrying drugs, they're carrying illegal things. Old-time police work that everyone said was a dirty word back in 2018, 2020. It's about keeping order, keeping law and order.
Yeah, we're literally 48 hours away from pure chaos, right?
Yep.
If you guys all went away,
Yep.
you think it's 48 hours or even less?
Less. If we all took off work, it would probably take a social media post to let everybody know that it's all chaos. Been doing this all my adult life, and it's time to change so drastically. And I think a big part of it is social media. Social media is what helps spread misinformation a lot of times because there's no context. If you show a quick clip of a police officer having to use deadly force in California, it travels all the way to Florida, right?
Yeah.
It travels all the way up to Wisconsin, Montana. It's everywhere. And people think that that's a picture of what policing looks like.
Right, and there are a million of encounters every year between officers and the public, right?
Yep.
And a very, very small amount of those, percentage of those are wrong. And you're dealing with the most messy behavior on the planet, like the hardest work, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys do it, to be honest. And then, right, out of context, you know, maybe the guy came at the officer had the wrong, pin him down on the ground, whatever happened, and then take that 10 seconds, that goes viral, something like that. Now, what you are really well known for is full transparency. Your sheriff's department.
Yep.
Because officers are off sometimes, right? I mean, like, cross a line. I think that's super important.
Yes, it is.
I wouldn't have thought that in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I've been there a couple of times and met with the folks in our budget. Let them know that no matter what you believe personally, you're a Republican or what, it doesn't matter. All that matters in our city is to make sure every person gets the service that they deserve and feels as safe as possible. Jacksonville has a bunch of communities all over the place that struggle with crime and with issues. This is called Justina. Everyone knows about it. I can drive by, for my years in homicide, I can drive by a spot and tell you what happened with a murder in that spot. Now, I'm going to take you to a spot right now where there was a horrific one. And it was senseless, happened to an armed robbery of a convenience store, which is now closed. But a young man's in the convenience store doing his job, and you watch him die on video. It was horrible. He was probably 19 years old, but right over here, right at a convenience store, which is basically across the street from where we are right now. There's an elementary school right here.
Okay.
You go to these places, 99% of the people are good, God-fearing people that are just, unfortunately, in a situation where there's crime. Because I know this as a reporter. Before I worked for the sheriff's office, I mean, I was an independent journalist. I worked for a TV station. Just yesterday, a business owner around here reached out. He said, hey, can you email all of your officers and just let them know that they can stop by my diner at any time and get free coffee? It was incredible to see the support.
This was a rough neighborhood for a long, long time. Not too long ago, we had an officer who ended up having to use deadly force and shoot a young man here.
Did the guy come at him or had a gun out?
It's actually have videos on YouTube. He pulled the gun out, and once the officer saw the gun, he told him to drop it. He fired a couple rounds. The guy throws the gun, and after he got hit, he got up and continued to run, jumped the fence, ended up on the doorstep of the house where he eventually bled out and passed away. That video is on YouTube also. I believe in getting those videos out as quickly as possible because that's the way you keep civil unrest. You keep that down by making sure people are able to see what exactly went on.
So when you're an officer and someone has a gun, you don't know what's going through their head.
No.
Obviously.
No.
And if they start pointing it your way, you're like, am I going to go see my wife tonight or not? So you're like, that guy died.
Here's what I see. Here's what I say. I say this all the time.
Shame on
if
you,
you pull a gun,
these people.
you're a guy, and you're in contact with the officer, you pull a gun.
Yeah.
You're asking
Friday,
us
every Monday,
to try to figure out
to make sure
what you're thinking and what
Calvé is
you're
an
going to do.
inclusive environment.
And we don't have
You go and make fun
much time to figure that out. So an officer is going to use deadly force in a situation like that. Because it's not our job to figure out what your plans are and what you intend on doing. So I can remember the bad guy broke in, came in this door. After he robbed the young man, the young man hit the magnetic lock.
Oh, okay.
He locked him in. And now at this point, he's like a caged animal. He's going nuts trying to get out. So he goes over and he demands that the kid open the door. And he felt like he was safe. The young man felt like he was safe because he was behind his glass. Unfortunately, when he fired that gun, found the weak spot, I guess, went through and hit him. The bad guy comes over to the door. He's locked in. He's kicking, he breaks the glass. And he ends up opening up one of the burglar bars, getting it wide enough. So he was a very small guy. Getting it wide enough so he can squeeze out. But in the process of cutting something, he bled. So we came to work the crime scene, collected the blood, collected the evidence, and we ran him through our CODIS system, our DNA recognition system. He wasn't in there. But what happens is, after a certain amount of time, they will rerun that blood through the system to see if that person's been picked up for anything else.
Okay.
Well, eventually, he got arrested for aggravated battery, I believe. He was in the system.
That's the owner of the diner, Peter, that reached out.
Oh, okay.
It just wants to give our system.
Oh, University Diner, way down there. Shout out to University Diner. When in Jacksonville, go there. They got great food, right?
Pretty sure I nailed it.
Pancakes,
Yeah, pancakes always. It's always a winner.
That's what you want.
This is Jacksonville University. What I want to show you is how quickly, things change in the city.
You know what I've noticed in Florida? I mean, it's all over the United States, but Florida is almost a more extreme example. You're literally blocked from multi-million-dollar homes to blown out windows.
Yep. So down there is a neighborhood called Solid Language. Further down?
Yeah.
And that's those homes we're talking about. There's homes on the river down there that are very expensive. And this is Jacksonville University, private university here in town. Good school. They've made significant investments in the community in this section here.
So as long as you're over here, you're pretty much good. Go a few blocks, I'm sure during the day you're fine, but
things kind of change. For the most part, our Arlington area is a good community. Actually, my son is a patrol officer over here. My dad, when he retired from the military, he and my mother settled not too far from where we are now. My intention really was to be like my dad and join the military, but when my first cousin was murdered in 1990 in an apartment complex on the west side, I decided I wanted to be a police officer. So as soon as I got old enough, I applied to the sheriff's office and got hired as a corrections officer. Spent a year there, and then ever since then, been on the street here in Jacksonville.
So that.
How do they put up with this? Well,
So that was the strategies that New York City down as these relocations, U.S. Embassy contacts, people with that.
Aaron Gaines, you have been going to college campuses, and you've been invoking your First Amendment right. I think we can all agree here that First Amendment, beautiful, beautiful thing. I think it's an even better thing when people actually use it to say things that they believe.
Thank you so much. No, we can go the whole way there. 75. Oh, right. That's the way in. Yes, it's on. Wait, whoever told me that, thank you so much. Do you want to go down and get coffee first? Fuck it. Whoever told us that. You can go straight anyway. Whoever told us that, big fucking love. Yeah, shout out to Ed, man. We wouldn't have seen it, man.
Bob?
So Europeans have completely lost their minds with cultural affairs and also their identity.
Jenna, I am in Lapland, Sweden. I travelled 2,000 kilometres to a village in the Arctic Circle in the north of Sweden. Oh gosh, here I'll be surviving for 48 hours in minus 15-degree temperatures. Never bite.
So often, British culture spawns a character so bizarre that they could only really exist here. Over the last 500 days, this has given us the United Strand.
Does you support Bahamas?
A continuous bombardment of excitement is set for Fall Brawl, with 2 title matches and 2 main events. 2 men, Ric Flair and
This school, though.
Actions settled decided. They'll be turning the moment. Former United Kingdom ambassador Peter Mandelson. So this is one of the people that was just recently revealed as being a co-conspirer. He was in the Epstein files, has been arrested as part of a probe over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And sources tell me want 500B bailout, almost complete. He says SD be announced tonight. He says, are you home? Just leaving number 10, will call. So you've got basically this guy is probably trading some sort of information or something else like that. And he did get finally arrested. And so it's kind of annoying to me that the UK is having all the fun with this. And we're not doing shit.
Metropolitan Police have confirmed that he's been arrested and taken away for questioning. This follows searches of his house in North London, but also his country house in Wiltshire. But this is about misuse of his position in public office, a similar allegation to Andrew, which was...
Yeah, because they're not actually arresting these guys for anything to do with underage girls. What they are able to get them on, things like trading information and secrets that you're not supposed to be telling people. Inside trading, exactly, state secrets. So this is the interview with this guy.
People will think because that I'm a gay man, I was insensitized or I wasn't attuned to what was going on. I don't really accept that. I think the issue is that because I was a gay man in his circle, I was kept separate.
What is this, like the Kevin Spacey defense? I'm innocent, I'm gay.
From what he was doing. in the sexual side of his life. He, in a sense, had three buckets of people in his life: the business and the financial, the political and the academic, and then what he was doing with young women. It's possible that some people crossed over, but I didn't. I think probably the reason I was separate from the third of those
Just you were gay.
possibly something.
Bro, I think you're just saying the same guy, by the way. Oh, yeah.